City of Forest Park, council meeting number 1392. Today is March 21st, 2022. Let us start and say the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Sally, can you please call the roll?
Adams, Brown,
Here.
Clark, Harrison,
Here.
Holt, here, Moore,
Here.
Sylvester.
Here. I need a motion to excuse Councilwoman Clark.
Second.
I'll make a motion. I'll make a motion to excuse Councilwoman Clark.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. I guess there's no discussion. Let it be known by the sound of voting aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Councilwoman Clark is excused. And then, Sally, you did mention that if she comes in, we'll just update the minutes accordingly.
Yes, I think I just saw her come in.
Oh, did you? Did you? Okay, well, she'll be joining us shortly. All right, moving on to the second item on the agenda is the minutes. Has everyone received the minutes? Are there any corrections or adjustments to be made?
Mayor, not necessarily a correction, but I had a question regarding the minutes before I can agree to their approval.
Okay.
There was some discussion by our law director regarding the tasers that were donated, and I wasn't clear if his recommendation was that we would use those or we would not use those.
Yes, they should be donated. They're not of any use anymore for the city.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Is there any other adjustments to the minutes? Okay, and we see that Councilwoman Clark has joined us. And can we, Sally, we don't need to
No,
vote.
I just documented.
Just docked it. Thank you. All right, moving on to item number 3, which is presentations. And we are going to our business of the month. So we are going to hear from our Economic Development Director, Mr. Paul Brim.
Mayor, members of council, thank you very much. I'm happy to be here tonight so we can recognize our March 2022 Business of the Month. It is More Than Medicine Healthcare. Last month, a number of us were able to gather at the company to welcome them. One of the newest additions to our growing Forest Park business community, and for many years, Rashawn and Lindsay wanted to open an innovative practice that combined traditional medical services with more holistic approaches. A licensed medical professional, Ms. Lindsay saw a unique opportunity to combine both approaches to better serve her patients. So she recently opened More Than Medicine Healthcare. Her patients receive primary and wound care. However, they also learn about nutrition and can even receive assistance with addiction. Medical marijuana treatment is also available. More Than Medicine is located at 752 Waycross Road. For those of us that went to the building and were at the office, I encourage you to stop by. She's done a remarkable job with the renovation of the property. It's a first-class office environment, inviting for her patients, and I think we were all very impressed. And encourage everyone to stop by and see Rashana and her team at 752 Waycross Road. And our community is happy to welcome them to the City of Forest Park, and very pleased to present them with this award this evening as our Business of the Month. I'd like to invite Rashana up to accept the award.
Well, on behalf of the City of Forest Park, we would like to present you with this award for Business of the Month to More Than Medicine Healthcare. So here you go.
I'd like to say thank you, Mayor Brown and City of Forest Park, for allowing us and welcoming us here in Forest Park. I had said this at our opening that my mom and dad, they had us out here, and I moved away to North College Hill, but I wanted to give back to Forest Park by coming back out here where my mom and dad is at. And I appreciate my family who helps me at the clinic right now, and that's my cousin and my husband, and that's my sister, and my front desk woman is my mother, who's not here right now, but she helps me out as well. So I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart.
And thank you for that presentation, Paul. And that concludes our business of the month. Moving on to item number 4 on the agenda is communications from the public. So this is the time for citizens to comment on matters before council, to ask questions of concern to them. So when recognized, please come forward to the podium, give your name and address, and then state your comments or questions. Council meetings are tape recorded for ease of transcription, and then comments are limited to 5 minutes. So if anyone would like to say any words, you can, now's the time to go up to the podium. If you just want to say hello.
Hi, my name is Sharice Wilson, and I live at 768 Cascade Road. And I've lived in Forest Park pretty much my whole life, with the exception of college. I am here to present possibly an option to have a community garden in the city, finding a plot of land where the community can come together and purchase shares of land and put shares to plant their foods. Because the area I'm in is primarily elderly, disabled, and also there's some economic disadvantages there, and we don't have a grocery store close by without having to use the metro or relying on other people to get you to and from. Having people be able to plant their own food, grow their own food, possibly sell their own food is a wonderful idea for the community. It would bring us together in a way where we see each other as people and helping each other out, and that's what Forest Park has always been about. I would like long-term to possibly work with the schools, to have the schools help out with the garden club. My son has been a homeschool child his whole life. He graduates this year. He has done gardening and would love to partner with the schools to do that, to get that going, so young adults and young children can get involved in gardening and growing their own foods. And having a farmer's market for the food that's grown and being sold and giving back to the community. That's what I would like to propose. That's it.
There's, Ms. Sharice, there is also the Environmental Awareness Board, and Mr. Wright Gwynn heads that board up, but it's also made up of volunteers, so even if you're not a voting member, you can come and attend those meetings, and there's a lot of conversation about that. Over at Forest Chapel, they do have some community gardens with raised beds over there on Sharon and Waycross, and a lot of the environmental work through the schools comes through that department that they are actually doing right now. So we could definitely use some support on there. So I'll follow up.
Is your phone number there?
Ms. Sharice, thank you so very much for that wonderful idea and suggestion. So right now for us, we're trying to find people to coach and trying to find people to do other extracurricular activities within the community. And so for you to step up and say, hey, I want to do this, I just want to commend you and say thank you so very, very much. I assure you it did not go on deaf ears. I do believe that the council will make every effort if it can be done for it to be done. If not, hold us accountable, come back, say something else. Just keep beating it until you get exactly what it is that you want. But again, I commend you. Thank you so much for the suggestion.
Yeah, Don, really quickly, which department, will we have to go to planning to review that, to see if it's in compliance with zoning, or?
Well, I'll talk to our zoning director.
Okay.
I'm sure that, depending on where it's at,
Right.
I don't think there would be an issue. I don't
think so.
And how it needs to be run, whether it's city property or whether it's a nonprofit. Those are the main issues, but I don't think there would be an issue.
Okay.
You're not, 100-acre farm or anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good evening. My name is Loretta Allen, and we own property on Waycross Road across from the proposed development. I was not able to attend the planning meeting 2 weeks ago, but I have spoken with several of the neighbors, and they're very concerned. I know at this point we can't do anything after what I read, but we would like to have a little more information because we're very concerned. Excuse me, the traffic, the the construction, just everything. And there were a lot of people that were here 2 weeks ago that expressed a lot of concern. So that's what I wanted to mention. Thank you.
Which development were you talking about?
The proposed development, the 99-unit development.
Oh, Waycross and Sharon?
Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking Waycross over here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Directly across from that, and the neighbors are very concerned about it. So several of them have asked me to say something at the meeting, so I told them I would see what I could find out.
Okay.
Thank you.
My name is Eugene Stevens, and I live at 1073 Waycross Road. I'm on the east side of Winton Road, and my issue is with the MSD, Sewer Division. I have some illustrations and things I could give to you, so when I'm talking to you, you can see pretty much what I'm speaking of.
Yeah, please. We can share. That's fine.
I don't want to exceed my 5 minutes, but I want you to see some things I'm bringing to your attention. So, a picture's worth whatever, maybe words.
I've had issues with the plumbing, with the drain pipes at on Waycross, me personally. One of the things I had one of your inspectors come out, and he was quite helpful, Josh Seaford or something like that. But Josh was quite a bit. I had two issues going on at the same time. I cut my grass early because my grass grew high. When I was cutting my grass Friday of last week, I smelled gas. And so I came here to talk to somebody because I had done, last year I was smelling gas. And so the gas, Duke Energy said, well, you may not be home, but we'll take care of the problem. Well, I smelled gas last Friday, and the problem apparently wasn't taken care of. So I said, let me go to City Hall here and see where I can get this problem taken care of. So Josh said, let me go out and see what the problem is. So he said, well, boy, I do smell gas too. Let me get on the phone here and call someone. He did. That problem got solved. They came out with a backhoe, and they went on and took care of the issue. They dug down and did what they had to do and removed some old pipe or whatever they did. But it took care of the issue. That was problem one. Problem two never did get resolved, and Josh and I went around and around trying to get the issue going. And so he came up with, said, well, let's call the PUCO, the Public Commission of Ohio. And so in talking with the lady, she says, well, where are you living? Because we take care of the whole state. Where are you living? I said, I'm living in Cincinnati. Forest Park is the subdivision I'm living in, but we take, and she said, well, they are privately owned, MSD. And I said, okay, I didn't know that. You know, so the city of Cincinnati and Hamilton County owns it. They said, well, you're going to have to deal with the city. And he said, your best way to handle this is to go to your city council people in Forest Park. So I'm here. He said, now, you got three ways to solve this problem. One, talk to your mayor, and mayor to mayor could talk. Okay? Two, talk to your council people, maybe a council to council could talk. And the third one, I can't tell you. And I said, okay, you might have to figure that one out for yourself, and I did. And the third issue was to sue the city of Cincinnati MSD, which I didn't want to go that route, but she couldn't say that over the telephone because she works for a municipality herself. But anyway, so that debris right there came from, as you look at your sheet, if everyone got a sheet, they give me the property line that I'm responsible for, and they say at the curve. If you look at page, let me go to page 1, and they show you my jurisdiction, my property line, you know, and that's where it stops, right at the curve of the sidewalk. Then they show you another picture and say, well, you know, but I have to keep it clean all the way to the main. Well, the main on Waycross is completely across the street, about 40 feet. Now, I'm looking at myself, I say, well, why should I have to be going 40 feet to keep something clean that, you know, that's a lot of area to be cleaned up under the street, sidewalks, and so forth. I said, well, you know, I don't mind taking care of my issue, but, you know, going way over there. But see, what I noticed about MSD, they've been passing the bucks in terms of saving monies because of the fact that they have to come out and do cleaning on different residents around the whole area. Well, you know, that debris right there came from the other side of the sidewalk. There's a tree there, and the tree has already pushed up the sidewalk, you know, so the issue is up under there. You know, I can't go up under the sidewalk and dig and do all this stuff that's going on. So Josh said, well, at this point, you know, we're sort of stuck. He said, can you be a council meeting? I said, well, I can be there. So I'm here trying to get something solved, and that debris there, you know, I can throw it away now. But I kept it for some time just to make the issue and the point. Now, the MSD worker, by the name, I think it's on one of my sheet or your sheet, he said that we'll take care of breaks in the pipe. He said we can take care of that. Dave Armstrong, he came out, put a light in, and his date is on a sheet of paper somewhere too. But he says we'll take care of breaks. Well, roots don't get in pipe unless there's a break. You know, so there is a break. But he said, I have to keep it cleaned out. I can't keep getting it cleaned out if roots keep getting in. So I think the issue has to be dealt with at MSD, which I don't have enough muscle and authority to sling with MSD, hoping that somebody in this council body might be able to do something to resolve the issue. Now, if you need those papers there for your edification later on, you can keep them. You know, I got some here, so, but I wanted to make sure you can see what they're saying, and they say so many conflicting things when you talk to the workers. You know, so that's pretty much what I had to bring to the council meeting. If you have any questions, I had Roto-Rooter come out. I got there, they came out, rooted it out, ran the camera down, and say their camera couldn't get past the sidewalk. You know, in other words, their camera he said, we got the camera, and they said we can send them down to MSD and show the picture of what we got. So all these things have been done, but the problem isn't solved. You know, so I came here to see what kind of resolution we can get, or what could go on, and maybe to solve the problem, if there is a solution. I don't mind replacing pipe if I got to replace it on my end, but I can't replace pipe all the way down the whole street. So, any questions, I'm here to answer.
Yeah, if you have anybody have any questions? Yeah.
So this one was for 2020, so you've been having issues ever since
I can't hear.
2020?
Have you been having issues since 2020?
Well, last year, I had an issue. That's why MSD came out and did their thing. I had to call them out to snake out. And one of the things, too, you know, when a auger go down in a pipe, it's spinning. And when it hits a spot that's hard, it jerks. And the guy pulled it back, and he said, well, I tell you what, I can't keep doing that, because if my auger break off in your pipe, then you got a bigger issue. He said, so what I got to do, I got to pull it out. Then when he pulled it out, that's what came out with it. But he was further down than my yard in terms of the boundary line you see there. So here we are. I'll take that back. I'll take that off your floor. But I'm open for any questions you might have.
I will, I'll talk to Josh tomorrow. He's our inspector.
Okay, right.
Find out all about this and take a look at it. And we'll make the phone calls to MSD to find out exactly what the issue is and get a straight answer.
Okay, now if you need my telephone number, I can write it down somewhere. Or,
Okay.
oh, I wrote it on the sheet. That's right. You have it, right.
Sir, can you write it on the podium there?
Yeah, I did.
And it is confirmed that your gas issue has been
Yeah,
resolved.
they've been out and they took care of that issue.
Yes, sir.
So we're good there. It's just with the plumbing part of it, the drain, and it's gonna back up again.
Yes, sir.
If you don't solve a problem, it's gonna happen again. So, I don't know when and where it's gonna take place, but hopefully we can get something going and we can take care of the problem.
I'll make the phone calls and I'll call you back and let you know what they had to say.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Are there any other communications from the public? Hearing none. At this time, while we love to see all of your smiling faces here at council, we feel free if you have to leave, you have to go start dinner or anything like that, or feel free to stay if you would like. But this is the time that we let people, kind of sneak off if they don't want to hear the rest of the stuff. All right, at this point, I'm going to, I need a motion to amend our agenda. Council, First Vice Mayor Holt.
I'd like to make a motion to amend the agenda and add as item G and take up this item to a motion to reappoint a resident to the Planning Commission.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Is there any discussion on the motion to amend?
None.
Hearing none, let the clerk call the roll on the motion to amend.
Adams?
Yes, I do have some questions about it.
Discussion?
Yes, please,
Yeah.
because I'm not understanding, I'm not understanding that. Can I get some clarity on what that's about, please?
Yeah, so there is on the planning commission, there was someone who had made a request, their term expired, but they made a request before the deadline of the expiration to be reappointed to the planning commission, and then we're just making sure that their appointment is confirmed so they can serve on the planning commission. Yeah, will continue to serve, yeah, you're right. So they've been serving for like a full term already, I think 1 or 2 terms prior, and we just,
Okay, thank you so very much. So to answer your question, yes.
Okay.
okay.
Brown?
Yes.
Clark? Harrison?
Yes.
Holt?
Yes.
Moore?
Yes.
Sylvester?
Yes.
All right, motion to amend passes. So, just as a point of order, Ms. Boyd, we will come back to vote on the reappointment at the end of council, correct? Because this was the motion to amend the agenda.
We amended it and to take up at this time.
And we
so
can
the
take up,
motion-
okay. So, all right, now I need a motion to reappoint First Vice Mayor Holt.
Yes, I would like to make a motion to reappoint Ms. Susan Anufo. I have a problem. Anaforo, pronouncing her name. I apologize for that. To the Planning Commission for the term expiring 11/30/26. 2026.
Is there a second? It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion?
None, thank you.
Hearing none, let the clerk call the roll on the motion to appoint.
And Mr. Mayor, this can be a voice vote.
Oh, this can be a voice vote. Oh, so let it be known by the sound of voting aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing no opposition, motion to reappoint Ms. Susan Anafuro, or Dr. Anafuro, excuse us, passes 7-0. Okay, now moving on to item number 5 of our agenda. This is reports from council members. We're going to start with Councilmember Adams.
Yes, so thank you so very much. So I do have a small report from the Beautification Committee. And that report is that Arbor Day is going to be on 4/26. Also, too, the Chipper program is coming back. And we ask our residents to please get ready for the beautification contest, which will be judged on June 25th and 26th. And also, again, I urge our residents to please come to the community council meetings. That is the only way your voice, well, not the only way, but so that your voice can be heard, and that you can hold the people that sit in these seats accountable for the work that we do. And yeah, that's it for now. Thank you.
Councilwoman Adams, I'm not seeing anything on the work session. Would you like to add any agenda items at this time?
Yes, sir. I would like to add the committee, the Quality of Life Committee, to the work session for some discussion, how we're going to implement and plan out that committee
Okay.
for the greater good of the council and the community.
All right, thank you, Councilwoman Adams. Moving on, Councilmember Clark.
Good evening. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and good evening. Just very briefly, that we are celebrating Women's History Month, and we are acknowledging women-owned businesses in the Forest Park community, whether that business is actually in the community and or they live in the community and are a business owner but have a business elsewhere. We are acknowledging them, and the community will vote on that this week, and we will announce the winner in April.
All right, thank you, Councilmember. I'm not seeing any items on the work session. Would you like to add any? All right, thank you. Moving on to Councilmember Harrison.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to report we did have 3 wonderful residents who came out to be interviewed by the HR committee for the various boards that we have vacancies on. We still have one more candidate who needs to be interviewed, and we'll be doing that shortly. And I'd also like to say, too, and just really give a shout out to Forest Park, or Winton Woods graduate, Cornell Beckham Jr. from class of 2018 for winning the NCAA Division III Wrestling National Championship. So when I heard that on the news, my Winton Woods pride swelled up. So just make sure we shout them out on the council meeting. And I have nothing else.
Thank you, Councilmember Harrison. Do you have any work session items?
Not at this time.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to First Vice Mayor Holt.
I do not have a report tonight, and I don't have any agenda items, but I will have a question for the city manager later.
Okay, thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Moving on to Vice Mayor Dr. Moore.
Thank you, Mayor Brown. I just want to acknowledge our Winton Woods School District. They had a Night of Freedom event, and I had an opportunity to meet some phenomenal young 8th graders in the English and Social Study class, and I watched their presentation on the road to revolution. So I just wanted to acknowledge them. They did a great job, and if you haven't had an opportunity to go to a Night of Freedom, please put that on your agenda for next year. And so I had a real good time.
Thank you, Dr. Moore. And do you have any work session items to add to the agenda?
No, I do not.
All right, thank you. And then moving on to Councilmember Sylvester.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, just a note to the public that the parks are scheduled to reopen for April the 1st. Some of the residents may have already have some insight on the rental for the picnic grove and the shelter at the Central Park and at Kemper Meadows Park. Those scheduling were available for residents from March the 1st. But just wanted to make note that to the public, and they can kind of look at planning some of their activities as we move into spring, summer months here.
Okay. Thank you, Councilmember Sylvester. And I have 2 work session items on the agenda. So there's a reappropriation ordinance and then a reimbursement legislation for capital improvements. Do you have anything else to add to the agenda?
No, sir.
All right, thank you. And that concludes our reports from our council members. Moving on to item number 6, the mayor's report, and that is my report. So I have no immediate city business, but I would like to report that, so recently I had the pleasure to serve on a panel for young elected officials for the Cincinnati Chamber of Commerce. If I do say so myself, I think I represented Forest Park quite well. There's a lot of people in the business community who are interested in relocating their business to Forest Park, so I tried to be our biggest champion or even cheerleader, we can say that. In addition to that, I have actually had a conversation with Commissioner Stephanie Dumas, and she saw fit to actually appoint me to what is the One Ohio Regional Foundation. This board is going to consist of a number of elected officials across the region, and we are going to make a determination on how money from the settlement regarding opioid crisis in Ohio, how that money will be allocated. So she selected me because Forest Park, as we all know, we are positioned for progress. We are growing, and we have, as everyone has been dealing with this crisis before the pandemic, which was the opioid crisis. So myself and a number of other elected officials are going to make decisions on how the $800 million that is coming to Ohio communities will be allocated. So that concludes my report, and I also do not have any work session items to add to the agenda. So moving on to item number 7, we are going to go to the city manager's report. Don?
Good evening, everyone. Got a few other items. A lot of them have already been talked about, but I do want to remind our citizens that the CHIPPR program will be beginning April 4th. This will be the last meeting before that. So go to our website, take a look at the rules and regulations. Make sure you get the right day and put your stuff that you need to have chipped and your yard waste and so forth that clean your yards up, and let's get that CHIPPR program going. So it'll be going on. It'll be once a month for the rest of the summer up through, I think, October this year. Winton Woods cleanup is coming up as well. I believe that is the weekend after, the 7th or 8th. I'll have to get the right time. Again, I direct everyone to our website. So there'll be a group of folks that have the opportunity to clean up Winton Woods Park, and not just folks from Forest Park, but all over the region will be there. So take a look at our environmental awareness page, and you can and find the dates for that if you want to sign up. And it's good for if you have a child or anyone who needs to do community service for to graduate and other things. That's a good opportunity to get some good community services right here in our area. Finally, I want to, I think most of the city council has heard this today, but I want to bring it to the attention of the general public that the Walmart has announced that it will be closing, the one here in Forest Park will be closing effective April 22nd, I believe. The folks that work there will be offered employment at the other remaining Walmarts in the district, and but I want to let everyone know that no one wants to see businesses leave, but we see this as a tremendous opportunity to do some good things. It's a great piece of land, and we are home of 20,000 residents, the second largest city in Hamilton County, and we look forward to working with Walmart and working with the citizens to determine exactly how we can reposition this mall and this property to benefit all of the citizens. And so we're looking forward. We don't see it as a negative. We see it as an opportunity to improve our city and to bring things that aren't here. The opportunity for small businesses to compete and open up. And we look forward to the challenge of repositioning this piece of property for the betterment of the whole community. That's about it for me. If anybody has any questions, I'll be glad to answer them.
Anyone have any questions to the city manager regarding his report? All right, hearing none. Thank you for that, Don. We're going to move on to item number 8, which is other reports, starting with our law director, Mr. John Wyckoff.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Since the last council meeting, I had the opportunity to review with some modifications the property exchange agreement with the library. I also had an opportunity to respond to a question regarding public records. And regarding public records requests, when the new council members started, I gave my little speech, and part of that speech was all about public meetings. There is a case right now working its way up through the Supreme Court of Ohio that shows there are organizations out there that are fishing for legal work. So they'll go to a community, they'll go through records, they will then sue the city claiming you violated a public meeting. One of the examples I gave to you was our 5 council people at the city of Cincinnati, when they're communicating, that 5 was considered a quorum under the Cincinnati rules and regulations, hence it was a public meeting, hence it shouldn't have occurred. So that's what they're looking for. So again, I caution everybody, be real careful about communicating all together on a conference call, a Zoom call, through text messages. You don't want to do it as a quorum. If you do, it's a public meeting, and you have to follow all the rules for public meetings, including notification to the public of the meeting. But, so beware. You know how lawyers love to make money?
Yeah.
Well, there's a group out there that's searching records to find lawsuits. And that would be the end of my report.
Thank you for that, John. And I do want to just echo that if, 3 of you decide to text me, don't. I'll say that right now. But moving on to other report, our clerk of council, Ms. Sally Boyd.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to report that resolution number 06-2022 was posted as required, and that concludes my report.
All right, thank you, Sally. All right, moving on to item number 9, which is new business, and I need a motion to suspend. First Vice Mayor.
I would like to make a motion to suspend the rules requiring the reading in full on 2 separate days and read by title only. Ordinance number 03-2022.
All right, it's been moved to suspend the rules. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion?
Only that this ordinance was posted 6 days prior to the meeting.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Will the clerk call the roll on the motion to suspend?
Brown,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Harrison,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Sylvester,
Yes.
Adams.
Yes.
All right, motion passes 7-0. Will the clerk read ordinance number 03-2022 by title only?
Ordinance number 03-2022. An ordinance amending ordinance number 12-2021 to provide for collection of special assessments by the city and declaring an emergency.
Okay, is there a motion, Vice Mayor Dr. Moore?
Thank you. I move to adopt ordinance number 03-2022.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion?
Yes, this is a housekeeping piece. And the county auditor, instructing the county auditor to reduce and recertify the 2022 annual special assessment on the parcel that makes up the Cincinnati Mall. And we just urge adoption.
All right, it has been moved and properly seconded. Can the clerk call the roll on the motion?
Clark. Harrison,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Sylvester,
Yes.
Adams,
Yes.
Brown.
Yes. All right. Motion passes 7-0. Moving on to the next item, ordinance number 04-2022. Will the clerk please read this ordinance in full?
Ordinance number 04-2022. An ordinance approving a zone change from R-1, one family residence, to R-PUD-7 residential plan unit development for 14.9292 acres located southeast of the intersection of West Sharon Road and Waycross Road, and declaring an emergency. Whereas the city of Forest Park is the owner of a 14.9292 acre tract of land located at the southeast corner of West Sharon Road and Waycross Road, and whereas an application has been jointly initiated by a developer and the council to rezone the property for a planned unit development consisting of 59 townhomes and 40 attached ranch homes. And whereas after careful consideration of the rezoning application and preliminary development plan, the Planning Commission recommended that the City Council approve the zone change by a vote of 6-0 cast on February 8th, 2022. And whereas upon providing notification as required by law, the Council of the City of Forest Park held a public hearing on March 7th, 2022. Now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the City of Forest Park, Ohio. Section 1. The land described in Exhibit A attached hereto and made a part of this ordinance is rezoned from R2 to RPUD 7, and the zoning map shall be amended to show the same. Section 2. The development plan is attached hereto as Exhibit B and made a part of this ordinance and incorporated into the district regulations governing the property. Section 3. This ordinance is hereby declared an emergency measure necessary for the peace, health, and welfare of the residents of the City of Forest Park, in that its passage will allow adequate time for the city manager to execute the purchase agreement and for the preparation of pending legislation related to the city's community reinvestment area. This ordinance shall take effect and be enforced from and immediately after its passage.
Thank you. Thank you, Sally. Is there a motion? Vice Mayor Holt.
I would like to make a motion to adopt ordinance number 04-2022.
Is there a second? It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Vice Mayor Holt?
I don't think any more discussion is necessary since the ordinance was read in full. So with that, I just urge adoption of ordinance number 04-2022.
Thank you. Let the clerk call the roll on the motion.
Harrison,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Sylvester,
Yes.
Adams, Brown,
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
All right, motion passes 7-0. Next up, I need a motion to suspend. Vice Mayor Holt?
Are we here right now?
Yes. Yeah, we moving.
I would like to make a motion to suspend the rules requiring the reading in full and read resolution numbers 07-2022 and 08-2022 by title only.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion?
Only that these resolutions were posted 6 days prior to this meeting.
All right, thank you. And let the clerk call the roll on the motion to
Holt.
suspend.
Holt,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Sylvester,
Yes.
Adams,
No.
Brown,
Yes.
Clark, Harrison.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-1. Will the clerk please read resolution number 07-2022 by title only?
Ordinance number 04-2022. An ordinance approving a zone change from R2, one family residence, to RPUD 7 residential plan.
Wait.
Oh, I'm sorry.
One second. We're a resolution.
I thought it sounded familiar. I'm sorry. Resolution number 07-2022. A resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into an incentive agreement with Stigler Supply Company.
All right, thank you. Is there I need a motion, Vice Mayor Dr. Moore.
Thank you. I move to adopt resolution number 07-2022,
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion?
Yes, this agreement helps facilitate a project in the Northland Industrial Park. The company will invest approximately $1.5 million to renovate and expand the building located at 11158 Otwood Drive, a project that will result in retention or the creation of 25 full-time jobs. And also, in return, the city will provide Stigler Supply Company with a $10,000 redevelopment grant to be paid at the completion of construction. I urge adoption.
All right, thank you, Dr. Moore. Will the clerk please call the roll on the motion to adopt?
Moore,
Yes.
Sylvester,
Yes.
Adams,
No.
Brown,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Harrison,
Yes.
Holt.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-1. Moving on.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I apologize, but for resolution 08-2022,
Yes.
we haven't read that one yet, have we?
Not yet. Yeah,
Okay,
it's-
thank you. I wanted to
right.
make sure I was correct. Thank you.
Will the clerk please read resolution number 08-2022 by title only?
Resolution number 08-2022. A resolution requesting the Hamilton County Auditor to place special assessments against various properties by the city of Forest Park Community Development Department.
Okay, is there a motion, Vice Mayor Holt?
I urge adoption of resolution number 08-2022.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion?
I have my stuff all together here. This resolution, this is a house cleaning item that we do periodically to place special assessment on various properties by the City of Forest Park Community Development Department. It is a necessity to be reimbursed for property maintenance issues that were taken care of at the cost of the city. And with that, I urge adoption of resolution number 08-2022.
Thank you, Vice Mayor Holt. Is there any further discussion on the motion? Councilwoman?
I do not.
Okay. All right, will the clerk please call the roll on the motion to adopt?
Sylvester,
Yes.
Adams,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Clark, Harrison,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
All right, motion passes 7-0, and I guess that concludes the new business. What looks like we have another item on the agenda, so item number E, and there's a reappointment. So is there a motion, Councilwoman Clark?
A motion to reappoint Mr. Stephen Cottle from Forest Park and to concur with the reappointment of Mr. Joe Orndorff as board chairman, all to the Community Programming Board, Regional Council of Governments, and the CBD Holdings Incorporated Board for the terms expiring 3/31/2025.
Second.
Been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion?
Just briefly for understanding and context, the Community Programming Board, Regional Council of Governments, it oversees the operations of Waycross Media, as well as provides support for resolution of cable-related customer service and regulatory issues. In terms of CBD Holdings, it is a not-for-profit entity that holds the title to property on behalf of the communities. And so these folks have already served and have experience on this board, and we are asking for their reappointment.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Is there any further discussion?
No, sir. At least not.
Really quick, I did have a question. Has the other districts already done the approval of this, and this would finish it, or this would conclude the last step that they need for reappointment?
As far as I know, yes, from
Okay.
the letter that we received.
Okay, cool. All right, I need a clerk, please have the roll call on the motion to reappoint.
Mr. Mayor, this could be a voice vote.
Oh, it's a voice vote? Okay, well, let it be known that by the sound of voting aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion to reappoint passes. And then the final item Item F, so we need a motion to receive the general fund summary report.
Mr. Mayor, I motion to receive the general fund summary report as contained in the departmental reports.
Second.
Been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Let it be known, this can be a voice as well. All right, let it be known by the sound of voting aye.
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 Any opposed? And motion passes 7-0. And that concludes all the items on the agenda. Now, is there any other business to come before the body? Is there any other business to come before the body? Is there any last business to come before the body? Last call. Going once. All right, this concludes council meeting, meeting adjourned.